fucking muted me in both channels? Well, thank you, OBS. I was saying hello, chat. Welcome back to another EasyGuess for the first time. And god damn, it must be 3 months. Disappointingly so, like 3 months. Totally not intentional. If any of you have watched me in the past, you know I've had tech issues. Quite literally, my computer that I had and have had for 5 years just basically is crashing without a point, without a reason, without a cause, without knowing any idea of why, and that sucks. Zachary. Hello. Look, my computer works. I can stream again. I'm still working on other things, but hello, buddy. How you been? Shush you. Also, you never use Peak, and I'm insulted because it's a very good game, and we should be climbing a mountain right now, but instead you're not. I was just saying, though, it is so good to be back because I have not been able. No, you didn't, and it just refunded because it's been 2 goddamn weeks, you idiot. Yeah, good for you. Like, I was giving it to you at $5, now $7. I'm not buying it for you at $7. I make, you know, public, you know, working for the state kind of money. I don't make good money. I know it's expensive, $7, but what you gonna do? Anyway, no, it is good to be back on the new computer. We are playing Voices of the Void, one of my... Hey, if you want to start paying me money, I will definitely work for you. Also, if Jeff Bezos wants to start paying me for streaming, I'll do that too. But anyway, I am playing Voices of the Void because I love Voices of the Void. I haven't played the newest updates, and I tested it the other night, and it looks so much better now because I can play it on a computer with a... I do work for your state, the state you're not supposed to be in. But no, computer has now a 5070 Ti and an i7 265K. So, you can do, oh my god, why does this song have words? Don't put words. I just want background music. Fuck it, I'm just gonna go to the game. Actually, make sure my transition buttons still work. Let's go with transition. By the way, Zach, I don't know if it works for you if you're on mobile, but if you're on your computer, scroll down to the bottom of my stream to the panels. I added something that is free right now because I don't have partner to use bits or channel points, but it is things to interact with the stream that, well, I know you'd like to troll me with it at least once until you get bored and go back to whatever game I know you're playing in the background. But let's go turn off studio mode. Okay, so we are in Voices of the Void. I might keep this TV screen. I don't know if I will, but yeah, where we left Voices of the Void in the past was buzzing on my phone. Oh good, and the app's trying to tell me to use AI, the thing we all want. But yes, you'll see at the bottom there HUD effects. HUD effects I have added that pop up on my screen and are captured by the stream, so it can startle me. Oh, you're on mobile? I think it works. I don't know how it works on mobile. Actually, let me... I make that like a plugin into... It might work on mobile. I actually haven't tested it ever. Oh, I don't blame you to be in bed. It's 10 p.m. I have one streamer I watch who uses this HUD effects thing, and I said, oh, I should try that when I get back to streaming because it seems like it'd be fun. Let's see, HUD effects. Is there a way to do it on mobile? See, if I had channel redeem points, if I got affiliate, which is the goal at some point, then I would. If you're on mobile, go to my profile. No, it doesn't work that way. Damn it, I don't know how to do it on mobile. Anyway, I'll show you what it can do though. I set up some screens that are already there, and people can trigger things like this. I had to turn that up. That wasn't very loud, was it? Or maybe it's louder for you than it is for me. I don't actually know. Let me know. And this is fine. This works better if I'm in the middle. Yeah, we'll see how long I keep these because when they're completely free...
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
It's not ideal when it's completely free, but I figured I'd try it for now because, well, it's something else to interact with, and when I can start charging for it, knock on wood, that it's at any point ever, I want to do that. Anyway, back to Voices of the Void. God damn, I love this game. So I had to stop when I was testing myself. By the way, look how much better this game looks than it used to. Oh, is it stuttering? Coding overload. Well, I knew that might happen. I have my settings so damn high for fun. But fine, I will turn down. Where is it? Sun rays? God rays? The God rays look good. Sun rays go down to like 0. And apply. Let's see, will that work? Better encoding? Wow, really? I swear I'm on the NVENC. Yeah, I know I'm lagging like fuck. This is why we test. Let's see. I will turn some of these settings out because I'm only doing it on 1440, even though I've got a 1080p monitor. Because I was like, oh, that'll be much better. Do screen resolution down to a 75 right now. Post processing down a little. Volumetric lighting. I probably don't need, but we'll try it. There we go. 75% to 1440p works better. And it's funny because, like, I know I'm only capturing in 1080, so it doesn't really matter. I just, you know, I can. It still looks great at 75%. Like, look how much this game is so much crisper. Anyway, so when I was testing the game for myself, I was like, oh, where am I at with this? Let me get some recordings. And then this one is fucked. Look at this. Help us. It is everywhere. Everyone is dead. Help us. It is everywhere. Everyone is dead. And it's like, I don't know what that is. I think it's some zone. It's bad. By the way, tell me, is it better? It looks like it's more stable, less laggy. But, you know, I'm watching secondhand myself as I'm, you know, streaming. So you're downloading fine. You're at 2 of 3. I think it looks better. Anyway, I think I know which event that help us is triggered to. And I'm going to try to find it and do it and scare the shit out of myself, probably. Report, we're going Delta. We like Delta. What's Delta? We need Delta Tango Golf. Delta Tango Golf. Are any of those ones down where I want to go? None of them are. Well, fuck you too. Okay, good. More stable is good. That's what we're going for. If I need to make it even lower, I will. I can lower some other settings, but I was like, this is fine. I think this looks much better. Anyway. Also, I like, let me know if you like it. My VTuber has some pixel effects to make him look like he's actually on a cheap old CRT there in the corner. I might turn those down in the future, but right now, I think it's pretty fun to have it be like that cheap and grungy when he's in the monitor. Fun times. Anyway. But how have you been, sir? How was your Friday? I hope you're not on call, because I know that is fucky. Well, it's always fucky everywhere, but I know you're especially exhausted from that. Personally, I am just as exhausted. I did a dumb and worried I possibly hurt myself in a way that wasn't hurting, but I went to urgent care today and spent $200. I wish I didn't have to. And they said it's fine, but it was a thing that I was like, I need to be careful with. So I did that. I may have hurt myself or done something in a personal area, we'll say, to not get in trouble with Twitch, where I was like, oh, that looks different now that I'm done and physiognomically. Did I do something that is bad? And I was like, okay, everything I can find on WebMD says I could have done something very bad, and it could be very bad if it hurts, but it doesn't hurt. But I like that appendage, so maybe I'll go ask urgent care to make sure I didn't do something really bad and have to later pay hospital fees instead of just doing something for $200 now. Look, I'm not a smart man and I'm bored, okay? Oh my god, am I out of gas? Shit. Also, yeah, zipping up too quickly would have made more sense. I did something with an additional. Look, I don't know these words. I may have used a device to prolong usage of that appendage for things that goes around said appendage. And I may have used it for longer than is medically advised because my ADHD forgot that there's a medically advised time period that you should follow. And yeah, it ain't got no gas in it. Thanks, Zach. Yeah, I get that. Thank you. Did Alt T not work anymore because of that again? Alt, what's that key bind? Motherfucker. Alt bind. Drop, drop, drop. Alt R? Oh, it works. Okay. Zach, I am a person not limited by the fears of vanilla-ness, and I'm live alone and I'm bored and I've been single for like 3 fucking years and just got out of unemployment. So that's what's wrong with me. There's a lot. It was like, oh, well, that's terrible. By the way, let me do, are you mod? Yeah, I can't VIP you and mod you, I think. Anyway, I think this is the event that I'm getting. We'll see if it works. This one is the top one. We'll see. I've been waiting for this to happen. Oh, I know I'm never living it down. I messaged my friend who is as functionally into such things as myself, and they're like, well, you're an idiot. I'm like, I know. And they're like, you probably don't need to go. And I'm like, I know I probably don't need to go to urgent care, but I like that appendage. And I'm going to be safe than sorry to check that everything's fine. But yeah, no, I literally was like, oh, my ADHD forgot there's a time limit that you should be using this thing. That's bad. So I was sitting there like, oh, I really am not ready to work. Let's knock this out. Bad. That's not a good thing to do. So that's been my day. I'm exhausted and $200 more broke because, again, Zach, I know you are too vanilla to ever do said thing, but I mean, if you worried there was something wrong with said appendage, you'd want to get a professional to look at it instead of just say, oh, I'm sure it'll be fine, right? Like that's, I don't think that's something you just let go and go, oh, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. That's what I think you would do. I certainly saw that as the better choice to go, I should look at this with medical eyes that are not just me and WebMD and should be fine. So I had a busy day. Zach, you are very vanilla. You think somebody using daddy in the bedroom is dirty talk. I mean, it kind of is, but you think it's like more serious dirty talk than it is. It's vanilla. But anyway, I digress. That was the adventure of my day. I'm not kink shaming you. I'm shaming you for lack of kink. There's a difference. Like, I shamed my brother for it. So I got this funny story. I forget if I've told you this. Well, I've told you part of this, that my sister-in-law basically took over my old Amazon account. Like, she orders on Amazon like 6 things a day. Like, literally the point where the amount of messages were driving me insane. I could never find like the listing for if I ordered something. So, hey, look, I'll take what I can. But anyway, I'm getting to this story. Hold on. So I use the Amazon family plan thing to make a separate account for myself on my other email and use the Amazon Prime from that other account. My sister-in-law, despite knowing I have not ordered a single thing from that Amazon in years, still has not and will not change it from my email. So while I haven't logged into it in years, I still get the email for every single purchase and return she makes to my, basically what I call my spam email. My email where I get every newsletter and bullshit and thing like that, right? Well, she because of that, at one point I see, "Hi, Ben, your account has ordered sex dice." I think you can say sex dice on Twitch. I don't know. They ordered sex dice. The dice that are like tickle, earlobe, that shit. Ooh. What's around here that I can't save? There's an event somewhere here. Like that thing, or like lick, elbow for sex because it's hot. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm not even like weirded out to know that they bought that. They're a married couple. They've been married, a decade more. I don't remember. I'm bad with days and time and everything. But I'm like, oh, well, that's like, but it was like that and like something else super vanilla. Because let me tell you, generally speaking, those dice are super lame vanilla. Like, if you need to be told what to lick, it just means you don't know what you both like and you're not adventurous enough to think of other ideas. I will say that as a fact that somebody will probably be mad at, but I'm like, look, and it's fine if you want to learn, new, kinky things to do because you don't know them. That's, we all have to learn. But I was like, I said that to my friend who is open-minded about such things as well. And she's like, wow, your brother's vanilla. So you're not the most vanilla person I know, but, and I'm like, and I saw they returned the dice. Where I'm like, I'm sorry to hear things are going that bad that you couldn't even use dice that tell you exactly what vanilla thing to do. I didn't say it to him, but I'm like, that's a shame. So yeah, fun times there. Anyway, the other fun thing I wanted to mention, by the way, is I might be getting a new model. Like, I don't mind this one. I made this one myself. I'm proud of the work I did because I'm not an artist. I'm trying to get back into art a little. I mean, they also have the option to potentially get lick floor by accident because I think there's like kneel on floor. So I don't know, but yeah. So I might be getting a new model. It's gonna be the same character. I'm not changing characters. I'm not stopping being Iggsy, the lizard rockstar X, desktop buddy guy. But I won a contest from an artist. Small artist was like paid for ads on Instagram where they're like, hey, I'm giving away a free model to get publicity. And I mean, I feel bad because literally no one else entered. I kept an eye on it and no one else did because it was in their comments. And I'm like, that's sucky, Instagram. Like, I get they don't post enough. I don't post enough either, but I also have been streaming. they've supposedly been working and they have the right prices. I don't think like any artist that's not charging at least $100 for like normal things is ripping themselves off because that's hours of work. Like a day of work for me, even at my, state government job salary is a couple $100 or a few $100 generally, right? No, want to make $1,000? Yeah, it is. It's like a couple hundred. So I'm like, man, like, she seems legit. Her art's fine. It's not my favorite, but I didn't hate it. So I'm like, okay, let me enter the contest. And I won. And of course, I'm like, look, excuse me. I'm like, you're a working artist. I really want you to know I respect that. I don't want you making this like a priority for you to make my model. Like if you have commissions that are paying your bills, please do those first. Please do those before my free model. Because I have a model already, as you see. It's fine. It's got some graphical errors because I made stupid layers that didn't work that great. And I haven't gone back to fix them. I don't love their art style as much as my current one necessarily with the face, but I also like what they're doing with clothes more and their line works better and it just can be better. So they're pretty far along. They were getting at like flat colors recently. It looked better. It looked good. And I'm like, that looks great. I look forward to seeing the rest. Her name is Burger Girl online. If you want to look her up, I was worried at one point when she actually had completed to a point. I was like, man, that line art for some reasons make me feel like AI. And well, I don't support AI art because it's not art. It's asking a computer to rip off artists. It just is. And I worked really hard to check her art to make sure she wasn't an AI artist before and she didn't look like it. And I've asked friends to look at that line art and they're like, it's not AI. It's just, they did it fast. They have their, your character, Iggy, is not very normal to most VTuber art. Most VTubers are very anime. And she is doing some anime style, but she's adapting both Iggy and anime together. Got some anime eyes now. They're not like bad anime eyes. That's the part I actually think I like the least that she did is the eyes because it's not really my style. But I'm not taking an artist that's giving me free art because I want a contest and going, hey, I need you to change a bunch because I don't like that as much. It's free. I respect that. I wouldn't want to work for free. I've offered some of my rigging for free, but like, it's the same. It's like, but if I start listing it for sale, doing it for free is not always the best idea. So whatever. That's where I'm at with like that. So hopefully in like a month or so, I might have a new model. I think I might be rigging it myself. We didn't actually discuss that because they do rigging as well. And I wanted to oppose them doing it, but I also kind of like it. Like I like rigging. I kind of want to do it myself. We'll see. Did I get more gas yet? Anyway, so we're look forward to that. That should be fun. But how much gas did I get? 5s. Ooh, I might get a full tank. Also, thumb in the asshole's not that kinky, Zach. Like everybody's got an asshole, and it is both entertaining to women and men have basically the win button up there if you really want to get to it. So saying that, oh, it's not that vanilla, it could tell you to touch your butt. Not really convincing me. I'm sorry. Where was drop? I want to put it back to T because I literally have muscle memory to that now. I gotta get back to like, it's funny. I've lost a lot of my weird verbal stims. I realized when I was streaming last, like it's honestly, it's funny because it's like I used to do those all the time. T, okay, and oh god, I love a VTuber with a verbal stim because it's so relatable to me. And then I'm like, but I haven't done that in a while. The best one for all of you VTuber fans out there for me lately that I honestly have been doing a tiny bit, but I feel like I should be doing it more knowing my brain, is every VTuber fan's favorite new, not that new, but new VTuber, Saba. Zach, I know you're not in the VTuber sphere. You should be. I made you a goddamn biscuit to stream as, and you should. It's fun because you don't have to worry about how you look, and you can just stream, and you can have a physical representation of what you're doing and how you're feeling. But Saba used to be, supposedly, can't confirm because legally she can't confirm herself, Gargura from HoloLive. I was never a HoloLive girly before, actually. I don't dislike them, and I've actually grown to like a lot of HoloLive, but I don't watch them live. Partially because most of HoloLive actually streams like on YouTube. And I'm sorry, I just don't like watching streams on YouTube. I've been watching more of them lately, but streaming on YouTube I don't get it. Like Twitch is my space. I've been on Twitch. This is actually another funny thing. I had another streamer I like. Which one was it? My brain is gonna blank, and I'm gonna feel bad because I'm not gonna name drop the right person. So we do it right. Yeah, it was Draskia. If you don't know Draskia, she's also good. Her name is Maggie. She goes by Draskia. She does also a lot of mental health stuff on the social medias. She is, I will fully say, a very cute, nerdy woman. Sorry, like mother of 3, and she also works in social media. But she's a great streamer and a good artist. And basically, she was getting back to streaming because she hadn't in quite a while, just like I'm not in quite a while. And we were chatting, and like I was talking about streaming stuff, I was talking about microphones, and I guess she was like, "Huh, let me look at this profile since he says he streams and he has a microphone knowledge. Let me check his knowledge." And she's like, "Holy fuck, Iggy!" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You have been on Twitch as long as my oldest child has been alive." Maybe it was her middle child. I forget which one. But it definitely wasn't her youngest. And I'm like, oh, I'm old. Because I have had an account with Twitch since just before it was Twitch. I think I made it with Justin TV. And I've been streaming for 10 years, almost 9 years. On and off, which is why I want to get back to it and do it more. It's just been a crazy weekend. I didn't have a chance. But anyway. So I'm like, yeah, Maggie, I've been around for a while. She's like, you might be one of the oldest profiles I have seen. I'm like, that's almost hard to believe / troubling for my brain that I'm the old hand now. But, I love it here. And it was kind of nice to be like, hey, you've been here a while. Like, yes, I have. Yes, I have. I am an old man now on Twitch, I guess. I mean, I am, as the streamer community would call me, a hag. I am 35. You are a hag once you're at 30 in streamer parlance. Did it freeze? It looks like it froze. Oh, it's a black hole. That's why it's so musical. So, I mean, look, I don't mind being a hag. In fact, I find it funny. Anyone who's ever worried about being over 30 makes me laugh. Because I'm like, we all get fucking older. Why would I care? Like, yeah, I'm 30. I didn't mind becoming 30. Sorry, the mic is punching you there, chat. I didn't mean to punch you. Like, man, 30 was fine by me. Mind you, I turned 30 during COVID. So it was a little extra weird turning 30 to not matter because, I mean, Zach, I think I got to see you only because I was still seeing Tessa, and I think that was the year I was seeing Tessa. God, which year of COVID was it? 2020. I think it was the Christmas I was seeing Tessa, and you came over for Christmas Eve. So you kind of got to celebrate my birthday with me. Kind of, sort of, maybe. The most people have in my life, because otherwise it's usually family and whatever. And I was like, oh, well, this is nice, but yeah, 30 didn't matter to me. And I've seen like some other young guys who've like turned 30 since, and they're like, oh, it's Man, I'm just so stressed about turning 30. I'm like, why? Oh no, you don't own a house at 30? None of us own houses. We're broke as shit. What do you expect it to be? Like our generation's never gonna, is gonna struggle to own. I was gonna say never, but Zach, you bought a house, so you bought it for your parents, but you still bought a house, so I can't make that point anymore. But like, I'm like, dude, what? Like, I mean, yeah, we are at our midlife crisis. You're what? You're 36 now, right? Like I'm 35. You're 36, I think it is. Um, we're definitely at midlife. People used to be like, "Oh, it's 50." I'm like, "Nah, we're none of us are living till 100. We're living till like 70 something. We're not going to be able to afford insurance. My year of unemployment, I used up almost every single dollar of my retirement plan. I don't have a retirement plan. I haven't even turned on the one for Tech System for my employer because I don't make enough to justify it. I don't think it's just not. Like, what am I gonna do? Like $3 a month? I got 10K of debt on a credit card to pay off. Actually, it's like 12K now because I bought this damn computer with it. Also, because I was getting into the game quickly, I didn't even talk about it fully. As I said, so my computer was not working. If you watched any of my previous streams before I went on hiatus for tech, my computer was crashing without reason, without sense, frequently. And especially during streams, which is not a fun time to have your computer crash if you like streaming. It fucking sucks, if I'm honest. So I was like, okay, fuck this. I need to replace my computer because I don't know when it's going to crash. And my passion projects that I do to keep myself sane are streaming and video editing. And it was also crashing during video editing sometimes. So it wasn't good. You don't want that. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? Well, I don't have money. I didn't have a job for most of those 3 months. And then shit got good. Finally, a month and a half ago, 2 months now, month and a half. I got a job, finally a day job after a year. Pay is pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. And I was like, all right, I need a working computer before I unalive myself. Yeah. In-game Twitch. I wasn't really going to do it, but you know what I mean? Like, if you don't have, I had my Xbox, which is great, but I tried streaming from my Xbox. A few things provide that, like Stream Elements has a package, and I tried their 7-day trial of that. There was another one I found. I don't remember what it is, but it was another thing I was trying, and just both of them, even on Google Fiber, both of them just sucked. They were nowhere near good enough and consistent enough, streaming platforms for me. And I'm just like, fuck this shit. By the way, if anybody's new who's watching me, I don't know if anyone is. I'm not looking at my numbers right now. I don't really care. I am not Say So. If that has not been picked up on by me talking about injuring stuff and cursing, I'm sorry, but I am not. All right, man. Go to bed. Good night, Zachary. Get some rest. And buy Peak at some point so I can fucking play it, you moron. I will make you play it. You will climb a mountain and fail repeatedly. But anyway, so it is. I got the job. I needed to buy computer parts. I thought I was going to buy a whole computer, finance a whole like $2,000 computer because, go figure, everyone. Yeah, gas can. Here, gas can. There, okay. Go figure. Computer parts are super expensive right now. Not least of which because of tariffs, which thankfully are kind of undone at the moment, but not completely. Man, my lights, they kind of turn off unusually. I have lights that I did when I was a flesh tuber, as well as I use them when I do, meetings at home for work. Like, let me just stay. Oh my God, I made so much gas. I didn't even realize. when I have lights on. Ooh, scare for a cure. I should look at that. Okay. When I'm doing this, you do need some good lighting to get good capture. Zachary, if you're still there, at some point I really want to get. I need a newer iPhone, at least an iPhone 10, to do better facial tracking. It has the infrared 3-dimensional tracking thing that Apple made on those iPhones, and it is the best thing for VTubing. I think I mentioned this to you briefly at one point, but it's like $100, and or 120, to buy an iPhone, even an iPhone 10. And yeah, I literally had my capture card wasn't working with the new computer build, even so. I literally had to buy a cam link to get my camera working, and I do use a good camera. I use my camera that I had for when I was a flesh tuber, so it is a good camera. It's my old A5100, a solid 1080p video camera / good stills camera. Okay, stills camera. It was my entry level to mirrorless cameras, but it is a mirrorless camera with a lens that costs more than the iPhone 10 does now. I'll tell you that much. So, but the problem is the lenses are the same lenses that are used by my good present camera, my A6700, which I love. My A6700. I need to get back out with it. I haven't shot digital in a while because I shoot film primarily. I use digital primarily for film. God, I'm getting dumb. Digital primarily for video, not film. When I film projects for the site that I work for doing movie reviews, and when I do it for my friends, I do video of for the same site technically. They do a series of showing films at they show films at oh damn it, I failed that already. They show films at a theater that are of certain types. One does them of horror, the other one does them of honestly kitschy, not great movies, which I love both those things, though sometimes they overlap to where it is a not great horror movie and I don't like it. I didn't like the last one much. They did the last not great horror one. It wasn't supposed to be not great horror. They liked it. It's called Popcorn. And I'm just like, this isn't entertaining to me. It just feels underwhelming in so many ways. There's some good makeup. But I feel so bad. The other one that I like where they do bad movies, they technically did one not so bad movie and one legendary bad movie. They did Deep Blue Sea. That's the one. And I'm like, oh, I want to see Deep Blue Sea. And then it was like my third week of work or second week of work, probably. I was dead exhausted. And I was just like, I don't feel like socializing. I feel just ill and under the weather. I'm about to pass the fuck out. And I did. I just kind of napped. And I did wake up in time for their show, but like where I'd have to rush out. And I hadn't showered that day because, again, work from home. Benefits of that. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to not. I disassociated, watched some of my favorite streams that were on at the time, and chilled. And the last one I was about to go watch, they did the legendary bad movie Tammy and the T-Rex, a Paul Walker first movie where Paul Walker is I forget the female lead in that movie, but Paul Walker is like, oh, I'm gonna date this girl and she likes me, but like she's also liked by like the absolute criminal thug bullies of the sound. Because if you remember, there's a bunch of like 80s into 90s as well movies where like the mean kids are downright actual sociopathic murderers. And yeah, that was the case in that movie too. So they literally kill him, and then his body is picked up and his brain is picked up by a crazy scientist that wants to bring back the T-Rex by putting human brains into a T-Rex. And so Paul Walker gets put in the T-Rex. I don't even think Paul Walker keeps talking. I don't think he has any other lines after his brain gets put into it. I am pretty sure, like, it's just, hey, it's him. They say like while he's in a giant like animatronic T-Rex body. Ooh. Zo air. He's well. It's like partially German. Interesting. Okay. But anyway, I've seen most of that movie once. I never watched the whole thing. I don't think, not especially not in one sitting. So it's like, oh, let me just go to that screening, right? It should be fun. See it with my friends, see it for my friends, help produce the video to help publicize it for them, which I do have a gripe about that. I'm going to get into it in a minute. But anyway, my mom the week before, because this screening is the week after 4th of July on the Tuesday after. And they're like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go. My mom's like, hey, so I have a bunch of free miles to go fly up here. And then your aunt has invited you to come with us to her beach house in New Jersey. Would you like to go to the beach completely on our dime? They're like, you work remote, so your boss is okay with you just working from our house for like 3 days and then flying home and not missing any time. I'm like, yeah, they don't care about that. By the way, look how good this water looks. Damn. My God. They're like, as long as you're working and you're online for your hours, you're good. I'm like, okay. So mom was like, all right, great. Well, we can't get you back until like you'll be here for a week. Like, oh, I mean, sure, I get that. It's, we're going with the whatever's cheapest for the miles. And cheapest of the miles was there for a week, but it meant I missed my friend's screening. So I didn't get to watch Tammy in the T-Rex. It is a shame because it is what I recall of it and what they told me of it again is that it is a very fun, campy as hell movie. It's not a good movie. It's just campy as hell. So I wish I saw it. But the beach was fun. Got overstimulated being with my parents because I love my parents, but there is too much time with family. I am neurodivergent as shite. I know that. I admit that. I have always been that, and it's only gotten worse, which is why I'm much better to work remote. But the problem with that is I get overstimulated. And this beach house, while nice to be there, had my aunt, my uncle, my cousin, her fiance, my brother, my sister-in-law, my nephews, my parents, my sister, who was surprising my parents, though I knew about it to help plan things for her, myself, my cousin showed up as well, and then like my other cousin, her parents, her husband, and her kids weren't at the same house staying there, but they were there. And like the first night at the beach, we came back to my grandmother's house, which is an hour drive on the 4th of July from the beach, at least an hour drive. It was longer because it was the 4th of July. And so the beach we went to is, I will say it because it's a well-known enough place that it's like, people, you won't find me. It's a big enough place. It is Ocean City, New Jersey. I love Ocean City, New Jersey. I've been going there since I was a kid. But it is an island. It is an island with 2, maybe 3 bridges connecting it to the mainland. So leaving on the 4th of July involves tons of traffic on those bridges. It was not great. Give me 1 second. Excuse me. Hydrate, don't dehydrate, friends. I love water. Anyway, so whatever. And then I got to sleep in a bed. My grandmother's condo has a downstairs bedroom that has been there basically as long as I've been alive, a bit longer than that as well. And it was pretty comfortable. It was an all right bed. I did almost crack my jaw at one point because like the mattress pad hangs off a bit. And like my brain at night was like rolling towards it, which is right by a nightstand that is like exactly at like a ½ inch below bed level. So like if I rolled off that, it just clunked on my jaw, which I could have and was very close to. Yeah, that would suck. Like I'm like grinding my teeth a little bit now thinking about that idea. Like that would hurt. But anyway, it was a good enough night's sleep, I guess. But the second night, my cousin and her husband and her parents were going back to my grandmother's because they're getting ready to leave the shore. I mean, they're going to visit my other uncle in Pennsylvania first, who saved. Thank you. That's jittery. But anyway, I'm like, that's cool. Like, it'll be nice to, it was nice to see him. I haven't seen them in like, out of their 2 kids, I think I've only met one of them. Okay. And the other one is 5. And I met him when he was like 1. If that tells you. We had a great conversation, actually. They don't live far away. I'm in Austin. They're in Dallas. And even they were understanding. Like, I was like, yeah, I should visit you guys up in Dallas at some point. And they're like, what's that? I heard something. What? Did you hear something, chat? That was so much louder than I meant it to be. Oh my God, that nearly killed me. Hold on. Well, I can't be having to do that. That's too loud. I'm going to turn that off. I don't know if you heard. I think you heard that. Let me see. But I have my marker button, and I had it set to play a sound to alert me that it went off. But oh my God, it like went off in my ear. Like, okay, 12% might be better. Okay, do that, and then put it into which one do I need it in? So I'm like changing my audio settings on the fly while talking. Oh yeah, so cousin is in Dallas, and I was like, yeah, I should visit you guys. And she's like, why? Dallas is boring as shit. She's like, we'd love to have you. If you want to come up, like, you can stay with us. I could, you can stay with my dad and her uncle. I'm like, oh yeah, your uncle has a big ass house and does live alone, so that would work. She's like, so I'm like, yeah, I should do that at some point. But Dallas is a 4-hour drive, and even she's like, look, if you don't live in Dallas, you don't have like family. You're not a family in Dallas. She's like, Dallas is boring as shit. She's like, it is a boring city. I know that. You know that. That's why you don't come up. She's like, come up. We'd love to see you. Please spend some time. She's like, otherwise we'll be coming down to Austin at some point. They tried to plan it like last year, I think. There's a place here in Austin that I've never been to, but I've heard of that is like a bunch of animals. Like, it's kind of like an interactive zoo type of like sanctuary place that's also a hotel to help pay for caring for the animals. And she's like, yeah, come on up. Like, or if we come down, oh my God, game audio has not been capturing this whole time. I hate myself. I hate this. Why didn't Zach tell me? Zach, you're a bad friend. Sometimes. Sorry. Okay. Now you hear the game. I am so sorry, Twitch. I am such a bad goddamn streamer. I am. Okay. So, Dallas. After the most boring first hour of the stream where you can hear the game, I am... Anyway, so I'm like, yeah, I'll come up maybe at some point though, and lovely to see you. But that night, my nephews wanted to go out mini golfing. We did not go mini golfing. We tried to, kind of, sort of. We get to the boardwalk, and well, it's crowded as hell. It is the boardwalk in the height of the summer and the most family touristy boardwalk in all of New Jersey. It's the day after the 4th of July. It's July 5th. It's like there's still plenty of people here. Not as many that, aren't actually staying on the island as the night before, of course, but plenty all the same. What the shit? You? You done? I'm like, okay. We're walking there. It's crowded as hell. We're taking 2 children. I was going to say toddlers, not toddlers. Like 5 and 9? 5 and 8? God, I'm getting old. I barely know their ages because my brother and his wife are terrible about communication and scheduling with family to talk. Like, I haven't talked to them since Thanksgiving because scheduling with them is a pain in the ass. Like, my parents are like, why don't you call them on their birthday? I'm like, Mom, have you been able to call them on their birthday? And they're like, it's been a real challenge to be able to call them on their birthday. And also, my parents, like, didn't even know my brother was going to come to the beach for, like, basically till the week of the trip. They were like, yeah, we're coming down for the 4th of July. It's like, oh, will you be there the 4th of July? Yeah, we're working on the plan. It's like, you're driving 8 hours. How do you have a plan for 8 hours already? Like, what? What are you doing? How? How are you doing that? What? Why? They didn't know. It still baffles me. But my brother and his wife, despite being very smart and successful people, are also like shit planners. Just bad for family as well. Honestly, Sleep Demon guy's gonna come and get me, isn't he? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a chance to go out with my brother and my sister-in-law and my nephews. I barely get to see to the boardwalk. We got ice cream. We're like, oh, maybe golf here. Oh, it's really crowded. Let's walk to the next one. We did like 3 times, which I'm like, just pick a fucking golf course and wait in line. I get we're here with kids. Just wait. But we never did. We get to there's this place that has go-karts under the boardwalk. And I'm like, oh, I've seen it a few times. You know, as I said, I've been going for years, so it's not unfamiliar boardwalk to me in any way. So, okay. You know, fine. One of the kids wants to do it. He did it like 4 years ago. It was really, let's do that. And the first one goes with my brother because he gets to ride co-op because he's still not tall enough because he's 7. Hold on. I'm going to change this filter a little. I feel like I just look too dark, which doesn't fit the character well. Effects. Let's try that. I think that looks better. Okay, let's see if that helps chat. Anyway, so I'm like, all right, cool. I'll watch you do that while my sister rides also by herself. And then after that, we're like, okay, let's go to the other mini golf. Well, it's late as shit on the 5th of July. Honestly, pretty late at those kids. It was like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I'm like, I get stuff shutting down. Most of the golf courses were shutting down. Like, we walked over to the other one and it's shutting down. Mind you, I was like really excited to do mini golf. I've not done mini golf in an age, in a time, in a place, in ages. And, all right, well, let's do it. It'll be fun. My nephews are sportsaholics. I say that very seriously. They are very obsessed with sports, and they're also very competitive. It's fun competitive, but they still are. So like, oh, I can be fun competitive with my nephews. I used to be pretty okay at mini golf. Amongst the many things I'm bad at because of ADHD and nearsightedness, mini golf was pretty okay. Yeah, I wasn't like, god at it, but I was like, alright, I can mess with my little nephew and be like, I'm gonna beat you. No, I'm really good at mini golf. So you can just sit there and watch while you big Uncle beats you. It's gonna be fun. It's a good time. So as we're walking and seeing the mini golf courses are closed or closing, the ones we're like, oh, we'll walk right back to that one afterwards after we do the go-karts that they said you couldn't do. He is heartbroken. Just absolutely heartbroken. And so finally we're like, all right, look, how about you get to do go-karts now? Like, your dad will take you on go-karts. It wasn't my idea, but I would have. The only reason I didn't is because of how weird my brother and my sister are with these things, where I'm like they wouldn't let me ride with them, even though I have a really good track record even, or whatever. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll ride the other car because my sister rode the first time. Let's do that. And I'll tell you one, not very fun go-karts. These were go-karts that were literally just on an oval. It was basically NASCAR of go-karts in a smaller oval, where there's like just enough space for like 2 1/4 cars to be side by side. But like, it's an oval. You're not getting much from an oval. Like, there's not much of a challenge to drive. You never to take your foot off gas because it's a goddamn oval. You know, like, there's enough space. There's a point where, like, at least one other driver was driving a little close to me for comfort for going in an oval as such. But it wasn't much. And I'm like, all right, well, I had fun. You know, still got to mess with my nephew afterwards about, like, nuh-uh, I still beat you. He's like, no, didn't I beat you? I'm like, Maddox, you started before me and finished after me. That means I win. No. Nuh-uh. My buddy. Does. It does. What was that? That was like maybe a mannequin? 5, 6. Man, we're sleeping late. Well, not late. Early. What? The right amount of sleep so far today in the game. But no, it was a lot of fun to do that with him. But yeah, we didn't get to do mini golf, which I did actually want to do mini golf. By the way, I thought the save had I could have sworn the save actually had I wanted to play mini golf because I like my nephew's competitive side. It's fun, it's cute. You know, I had to force it more with the go-karts. It wasn't as great of a thing. But no, I had a lovely time. I got really sunburned. My aunt's like, Iggsy, I'm not trusting you to put on sunscreen. And I was like, I guess there's like a lot more family around. I feel like they infantilize some things. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You can't trust me putting on sunscreen clearly. Like, no, I live in Texas. I live in a place that needs sunscreen frequently. I'm good at that. The only reason I got burned was one, my feet got a little burned because my shoes, my Birkenstocks. Yes, I'm bougie. I wore Birkenstocks to the beach. Fuck you. They chafed a little bit because they're a little tight and rubbed off the sunscreen on parts of my feet. Which happens. It sucks. I will say, worse was they chafed full of sand walking afterwards. It was just bad. It just... That is different. Can I screenshot that one? Snipper. Where's Slippy? Where are you? You are negative 1 million? Wait, so we're looking at D negative 1 million. That's not gonna work. Well, it was sent from somewhere crazy, so I think it was telling me. So fine. But anyway, I was like, you know, I was on the beach. I took good care, put on good sunscreen before, and then I put on more on the beach. There was a point I went in the water. The little nephew was boogie boarding, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't gotten to play with him at all. I've just got here today, and my future cousin-in-law, my cousin's fiance, who's a wonderful guy. He's great with the kids adore him. He was taking my nephew out boogie boarding. I'm like, you know what? I used to love boogie boarding. I want to do this with him. And also, I haven't really been in the water I got to the beach. And, you know, half of going to the beach is being in the water. I actually, sitting with my whole family, again, I was just like, this is distracting. I did much better sitting by myself, reading by myself on the beach, but whatever. So, anyway, we're sitting there, and I put on sunscreen a second time because I just got in the water. I'm like, well, Sierra. Need not target Sierra. I'm like, okay. Hey, I need more sunscreen. I didn't bring any because my parents are there, and my mother's like, hey, Iggy, I brought. I was like, don't worry, Iggy, I brought plenty of sunscreens. I'm, like, I'm not worried. So I get out of the water. I'm like, hey, Mom, I need that sunscreen you brought. Like, oh yeah, Iggy, here you go. And, like, I had noticed already when we got there that the sunscreen my mother had was a spray bottle sunscreen, and it had just, it was making a weird ass noise when she sprayed it. Like clogged nozzle, I imagine weird. It sounded like a gnat or like a really like high pitched whine like motor. You know, again, it's liquid coming out of a spray nozzle. It's a little crowded. I'm like, that's fine. I'm like, yeah. Even my uncle, who wasn't there the first time my mom used it, was like, what the hell is that? Like, yeah, it's this. Oh, that's weird. This is what I use it. And I think I'm getting covered. Well, it ran out a little bit towards the end as I'm trying to do my back. So I'm like, all right, I'm keeping my back to the chair for now. And he eventually said, I don't have back sunscreen. I'm going to go for a walk because I don't want to put have somebody put the cream stuff on my back. Because that's just, it always just weird. Cream sunscreen being applied to someone else on your back. I guess, like, if you're banging with your partner, whatever, like, yeah, I trust them. But, like, I don't need family stuff and stuff on my back as an adult. It's just a weird feel. Also, again, neurodivergent, some sensory stuff, right? I don't know what to tell you. So, but I'm sitting there, and like, again, they're talking about like, oh, you know, Iggy, it looks like your feet are burned as hell. They look bad. They still kind of look bad. One of them has started peeling a little, which is great. It means making progress, right? We love progress. So I'm like, all right, like, I don't mind peeling. I think the peeling is the most fun because my stupid neurodivergentness is, let's feed not target Romeo. My super neurodivergentness is like, that's something to pick at and play with. It's fun. I actually like that though. So I go for a walk. As I say, it is not a great walk because I feel between the sand and I guess feet inflation from just heat / whatever. My grippers are chafing. Chafing against the lower straps. The straps are chafing against my ankles. Because they've done before. I've had to nick my ankle. Like the ankle gets cut a little bit. I never really know why, because they fit really well, but then suddenly it's sticking into my ankle and I can't do anything about it. Usually it was just in the first month. Anyway, but I'm like, great. I cut my toes a little bit, I cut one ankle, put a blister on the other. Great time. So we get to the night, and I realize, like, somehow both my shoulder blades and part, like, around both my knees, like the inside part of both my knees, and like crisscross random on my chest are red as shit. They're burned. It's not a bad burn, which is the thing. Like, my aunt's like, that's why I can't trust you over gaming. So they're going to put sunscreen on you for you. Like, that's not the case. My first pass, the sunscreen I could put on myself, because there's plenty of, it worked. That's why I didn't get burned. For the second pass, where the goddamn sunscreen ran out because my mother tells me, oh, there's plenty, and there's not. Like, what am I supposed to do if I'm told there's plenty and I'm ready to reapply after being in the water and being out for an hour? And there isn't. I can't prepare for that. I did walk the boardwalk with a shirt on. What's that? Fart at me? And I hit the ragdoll. I'm sorry. But I'm like, great. Like, I haven't blamed my mom verbally for it yet to herself, but it's her fault. Like, Like, they're giving me shit. It's like, no, Mom, it's you didn't bring sunscreen when you told me you brought sunscreen. And so I tried to use your lack of sunscreen and got burned. But again, it was one of those ones where it's just like, it kind of doesn't hurt. Yeah, I'm a little disgusted. She's like, you're just so fair skinned. I'm like, I'm not really. Like, I hadn't walked much in Texas lately because I didn't have places to go because I didn't have budget. And Texas is hot as balls, people. If you've not been here, I don't advise it. Don't bother to come. Austin's lovely, but don't bother to come. It's not worth it. Texas sucks. But, like, when you're in June and July in Texas, you don't go walking unless you got a place to go in some walking distance because you'll burn, you'll scorch. There's not a point. And I'm not waking up early enough to go walking before the sun because I work at 8 a.m. for my day job. I'm not walking at 7 a.m. I barely get up at 8 a.m. some days. Don't tell my bosses. I'm trying. I'm good, I swear. Anyway, so we're like... horn button. It's funny. Is it the same? I was like, is it? And I'm like, why am I asking? Is it? I know it is. Sometimes we do that. Anyway, so, oh yeah, sunburn. Yeah, my aunt's giving me shit for it. I'm like, I didn't have a problem. Yeah, my chest is fairer skinned because of that, but my arms are pretty tan, my legs are pretty tan, my face is pretty tan. I have a good hat. I didn't get burned on my face at all because I used the cream, sunscreen, and I'm prepared, but I didn't like smear cream all over my chest because, well, look, chat, I am the male persuasion, and I am a hairy-chested male. I don't control that. It's genetics. And rubbing cream sunscreen into a hairy chest just is kind of a pain in the ass, feels ineffective, and is kind of gross, in my opinion. Am I a little bit self-shaming? Maybe. Do I care right now? No. It's like, great. You know, I could have done that, but my aunt's like the next day, she's like, are you going to the beach again? I'm like, no, I got a little scorched. Why would I go to the beach? But, so out of like 2.5 days-ish, I unfortunately did not ever get to the beach. Sorry, I got to the beach first. What am I saying? The second day and a half or whatever that we were there, I did not get to go to the beach. Okay, we're looking at these. Let me double check these verbally right now because every time I send this in now, it's like, well, you actually didn't get all of them. And I'm like, yes, I did. So, Juliet is 09E0. That is a 0, not an O, right? Yeah, okay. 0 F9044A. Hash code for Romeo is 17728D68BE. And the other one for Sierra is 18BBB8, which going 3 B's to an 8 is a bitch move. Fuck you, game. 1764. Okay. So look, when it tells me inevitably, knowing my luck, that it is wrong, you watched with me, chat. At the door, it felt like a sniffle almost. You saw it, chat. You're also liable. You're responsible. Know it. So yeah, I got burned. Healing's just about done. My feet, as I said, kind of start getting better. So I explore. Anyway, so okay, so yeah, but yeah, I take some. I'm mad a little bit at my aunt for like being rude about that. I was like, I'm putting sunscreen on you next time. You can't be trusted. Like, fuck that. Sorry, but fuck that. No, I can do this. I did it. And yeah, some mistakes happened, but I wasn't even mad. It wasn't even a bad burn. It wasn't even one of those burns that was like bad on you when you sleep. that I could have been in those locations. It was just a little burn. Like skin peeled a little bit since it was fine. It sucks, but it was fine. You know? We're good. Yeah, the beach is great. I got some good pictures, I think. I brought my film camera and shot on slide film. The battery was dead until like middle of the first day when I walked to Walgreens after already being in pain. So I'm just a baller like that, you know, I'm a fighter. I stuck through the pain and walked to Walgreens and got the batteries I needed for my film camera. If you don't know why film camera needs batteries, they are mostly mechanical, especially the one I was using. The problem was that it has a light meter, and I have never shot slide film. I said, oh, I'm going to finally shoot slide film because the beach seems like a perfect place to do it because it's sunny as all get out. It is beautiful, and lots of light is great for slide film because slide film, most of it that's available right now, I think there might be different ones, but slide film is 100 ISO. I was like, you know what, let's just shoot it on slide film. I have money now because I'm working, and in the year plus that I have been shooting film, I have not been working, so I've barely had money to buy film. I haven't developed film in months. In fact, I dropped off a roll that I thought had some okay shots. Honestly, most of them weren't, if I'm fully honest. Even the ones that didn't come out when I looked at them, well, they came out, but they didn't come out well. Even when I looked at them, I'm like, oh, this wasn't that good of a shot that I fucked up, that I didn't be able to get out. But because it had been in my camera for like 2 months, the film was just not in good shape. I feel a little worried because my other camera, I have 2 mechanical film cameras, a Miranda SL2 and, not SL2, Miranda, maybe it's an SL2, Miranda 2, whatever it is. And then I have my grandfather's Konica Auto Reflex 2, which is the one I brought with me to the beach to shoot slide film. But yeah, both of them had film in it for like maybe 6 months, maybe a year. God, I doubt it's a year, but it's been maybe 6 months. And as I said, the one that I developed for the Konica did not come out well. The Miranda, which is more of my baby camera because I bought it for myself, and I bought it because of certain features. I love it as a waist level viewfinder because I do street photography a lot. That one has also been in for like a year, so I'm worried that one's going to also come out bad. Because almost every shot came out bad for the Konica developed poorly. That's because they've been with the cameras for far too long. I can't control that, but it happens. I can't control that, but I didn't have money to control that because getting film developed costs money, and I didn't have chemicals. I never developed myself. I might do that sometime. I digress. So I shot my slide film around the boardwalk, and I did a bunch of shots that I thought I might got in some good ones, where I was just doing experimenting, and I was using the Sunny 16 rule. Well, I get the battery, like it was like a day later, and I'm testing it on the deck in the sun. I'm like, wait, this light meter is saying very different in the sunlight than the Sunny 16 rule seems to imply. So slide film is, by all intents and purposes that I have heard, sorry, what was going on? I picked them up. I everyone's their own brand, don't they? Sorry, I had some, I made sausage nachos today for dinner. Good. It's a great, Austin, Texas brand, HEB. I got their jalapeno cheddar sausages. Diced a couple up, pan fried them, pan seared them, cooked them up, into little, quarter medallions, which you want. And tossed them over some nachos. I actually have a bunch of leftovers because more filling than I thought because I also had rice and beans on there. And cheese, of course, because you can't have nachos without cheese. Maybe you can. I'm not I'm not fanatical. I'm not traditionalist. I just know what I think is right, and that seems right to me. But the point being, good. But that was a nice little sausage burp there. I just got some all beef sausage, which I need to cook up next week. I still have more of that jalapeno cheddar mixed meat sausage. I might freeze some of this. I am a single person. I digress. So, yeah. So I go back and see, nice job. Okay, 79 points and 75 in the check-in. Package received 150 points from the rate. Okay, 150, and I don't know how this sounds quite scary. Perfect. So anyway, I was, so I ate on the boardwalk. I got some pizza at Menko and Menko, which used to be Mac and Menko, as they like to cover up. Because Mac, well, he went down for tax fraud, and then Menko got to keep the business. Though it is believed by my parents and my family that both Mac and Menko probably both committed the tax fraud. My mother has been coming to the same beach for years longer than I have. So when she says that, I'm kind of inclined to believe her that she might have some idea. I mean, it seems likely, but what you gonna do? I got that later on my boardwalk walks. Actually, the last day, I got some good fudge and a caramel apple, which were both very good. All right, so I'm taking the pictures, and as I said, when I got so sidetracked by the belch. I am so sorry. My brain is ADHD as hell today because of just, it's been a hectic day. So I got, after I put the batteries in, and I am checking the photos. We're not checking the photos, checking the exposure. It's like, yeah, this is overexposed. And, well, I need a frame. And can I buy GPU? 200. I can do it. Order and 1 GPU. So anyway, yeah. So what I've read about slide film, because again, I've never shot slide film. I just know what I've read. What I've read says it's while negative film gives you a lot of latitude. It gives you a lot of latitude, but slide film kind of is temperamental. Slide film does like to be very exact. Like, oh, well, I clearly was not. I gave it more light because you do always want to give film more light. So that's a tip for you if you have an interest in getting into photography, especially film photography. More light is more better. But supposedly that is unless you're shooting slide film. And I am sorry for being boring as hell, but I needed to get that. So again, I shot the last of that film roll, maybe 10 shots with the light meter, which I feel better about. But yeah, after that, I went to go shoot the other one, and I'm like, this is not as good. This is like I'm shooting the other roll, and I'm like, this is not comforting. That I wasted a roll potentially of more expensive film. Slide film is like, I got this as the off-brand rebinding of this well-known Kodak slide film, Ektachrome, from my favorite rewinding brand. I get it. And yeah, it's just not comforting to see that. So it's like, oh, it was like $17 still. Usually it's like $23 from Kodak. I don't know if there is a major difference because it is the one that can be bought by partners like Flip Film, but if it is, it's not nothing I can do about it, right? So okay, well, I gotta have enough electric and metal scrap in this thing, don't I? Bench. Drive or gas can. Yeah, what do we need? Is it like plastic? Is it rubber? Anyway, so I'm like, shit. I'm really hoping it came out okay because I don't want to have wasted $17 and then however much it's going to cost to develop. The reason I didn't get it developed, the first roll, well, I forgot that my favorite lab here in Austin is, they can't do it. They don't have facilities or the chemicals, I guess, to be doing, I think it's E6 for, I think it's E6 to develop color positive film. Oh shit! So anyway, we'll see about that. The second one's not done yet. The second one had to go through X-rays, which sucks and is bad planning on my part. I'm hoping it's okay. Again, supposedly ISO, I believe it is ISO 800 and up is the one officially said by the TSA is the only ones at risk. Now, they're probably wrong, and I've looked through some of the science that other YouTube people have done, and I think that was loud as shit, and I usually quiet that, but I don't care. Oh, I got it right. Oh my god, you don't have enough slots? What? God, I forgot how this works so much already. Cannot claim points, cannot use slots. How do I make slots? I have to Google this later. I'm gonna watch that later. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, fine. That sucks. I swear I already had one. I don't know what happened to it in my save file. I thought it was up here. I know I looked up earlier. Already on stream, but I don't care. So yeah, okay, so film. I'm hoping for the best. I'm not super optimistic about the best. I'm gonna stand here for a second because I am checking one thing here on my stream. Appreciate your patience. I know I shouldn't be doing voices, but I just really felt like voices because I was having a good time with it last night. And I was just like, I should get in here. I do want to do a longer stream, but right now we're at 2 hours, and it's also, what time is it? It is almost midnight. Let's see if I can stay up much longer. Because as I said earlier, I had a long day where I even had a medical concern to the care. Yes, because I'm an idiot, but that was a better one. That means they were there. I know you were there, aliens. Fucking bastards. Jerks even. Alright, so yeah, anyway, I hope that film comes out okay. I'm sure there's some good shots. I'm sure there's some bad shots. I can only hope that enough good ones come out to justify it, and that going through X-rays for that second roll of color positive film is not a problem. Did I make the paper boat reference at all? I know I mentioned Saba earlier, and I think I forgot to say paper boat. What? I heard something. What was that? I swear to God, I hear footsteps. Maybe that's just my mic cable dragging. Oh God, I'm dumb. I did hear something else, so that wasn't just the mic cable drag. I swear, I'm not that crazy, chat. I'm not. Anyway, I know I mentioned I know I'm jumping all over the place. I am ADHD. So many stories. It's been 3 months, chat. 3 long months. Let's be honest, outside of doing movie reviews with friends, y'all know most of my socializing. It's depressing as hell because no one's here. Not at all. But yeah, no, the Saba thing. Oh yes, so I'll talk about the Saba thing. So again, I was never a HoloLive fangirly. I was fanboy, but I love when you're talking about VTubers. You'd be like, I wasn't a girly, because it just feels right. Because honestly, Saba and most VTubers that are successful are women, and I respect the hell out of that. That is the best fucking thing, because being a VTuber lets you have some anonymity, which is so helpful for women because men suck. I'm sorry, we do, guys. And everyone's gonna be like, you're a man hater. Yeah, I'm pan. I generally don't date men despite being pan. Generally, it's non-binaries and women because men suck. Really fucking suck. And women know it. Even the women that like men know it. So I can't blame them. Anyway, so but Saba, as I said, used to be Gargara, and he's supposedly, according to the deep lore and the almost definitely same voice. So I like Gura to an extent. I'm not saying I don't like her, or I have an extent that I don't like her. I say to an extent because I never watched her streams. It's not her fault, as I said much earlier before I got super distracted. Is that the artwork? Is that I don't watch on YouTube, and Gura has always been YouTube. Well, Saba is also on YouTube, but I was just, she went through a lot being one of the biggest stars ever from YouTubers, at least, especially English language, but ever. And not really getting to have full control of herself, or like, she, too much stress because she couldn't control it. And she went and graduated and became Saba. And oh my god, I was at the Saba premiere. Best feeling in the world. I love debuts. Debuts for VTubers are magic. Look, I am touchy-feely empath, and being a debut is when you get to first feel like you're showing yourself to someone, to the chat, to the world, to Twitch, and being a VTuber. Why I love it is I can just be me. Like, I'm a goofy guy who loves tech. I'm nerding out about my tech setup looking like super 90s. I mean, the cyberpunk world works for me. I need to change that. I need to pay somebody or something. I have more money to make me a new background, a new world that I'm in, because this is just, I don't know who owns this one, as I've said before, and I kind of feel like it should be more kind of settled into 90s computer nerdery and game room stuff. I still don't know what it's going to look like. I'm going to trust a good artist, but yeah, I was like, okay. Anyway, for Saba's debut, we've done some teases. I haven't really paid attention to the teases, which I looked at the music, and that's nice, and I saw some of them because I'm not avoiding them, but it was just, it was in my periphery, but I knew she was debuting, and I said, I really want to see this. It's important for the VTuber community that this huge star in the community is going independent. Which is funny, there's been so much since then going independent that's just as big, more or less, or just a continuation of being as big, which is great, and I'll get to that in a second. But I felt so special getting to be there, and it was a wonderful debut. I watched most of it, if not all of it. I don't even remember, but one, it just, you could tell how much happier she was getting to be Saba than she was in like her last redemption, Gura. She loved being Gura. It was clear. Like, she loves her fans. She's glad to have others that follow her. Clearly, and she's, you know, she never hated her fans. But she just, one, there were some bad fans. There's still some bad fans where they were like, yeah, you know, Gura needs to come back, and like, you know, we can change the Gura to come back. She's not coming back, people. Whatever. Anyway, but it just, it was lovely to be. Her model is, I wish I had the chef's kiss, like, what I could do with my model right now, because it's so good. Just Gura, or not Gura, Saba, the model work is great. I can't remember either of the major art anymore. It's not my head because I'm bad with names, and also I'm never affording them. Not unless I do hit off as a big VTuber, because I don't make enough at my day job to even pay for model art now. Or even a good PFP art now. I should, but so yeah, I felt so good for Saba. And she seems to be having so much fun. I love her clips, but what I was getting to is that stem, her verbal stem or vocal stem of Paper Boat is the cutest goddamn thing ever. And it is, man. Paper Boat. Paper Boat. Paper Boat. I adore it. I've done it on occasion. This is a lot. I found like my brain has stopped making as many verbal stems as I used to. It's a lot more tapping the feet, tapping the hands, doing stuff like that. I used to do a lot of the, which I do kind of miss. I had an ex that like got kind of mad about that once. I'm like, yeah, I'm tuning. It's a verbal stem to keep my brain focused on cooking. It was mostly what I was cooking. It was like, I wonder if that's picking up well. Turn the game down. I really don't know how my balance has been. I feel so bad about that, chat. As I hate when I'm watching other streamers and their audio balance sucks. But I have just wanted to stream for 2 hours and not been keeping up. And we're almost at 2 hours, but an hour 40 almost here. Very nice. I love it. I like it. I see it. I do it. I keep on wanting to do it. Stuff like that. That's me verbal stemming for sure. I'm okay with that. That's some of the weird stems I do. I just keep on saying things in a weird voice and doing that. It's fun. I can think of one of my Oshis. I don't watch enough anymore. She's streaming right now. God bless her. I use God bless her even though I am not religious. I think too much time in the South, and it does make some people feel better, but it is Grimmy. Grimmy is the VTuber getting it there. Grimmy, Grimelda, Grimbo. Very, very nice one. I wish to be able to, we'd love to play with her at some point. But anyway, like, she does a lot. She's a voice. She wants to be a voice actress. I don't think she's done many voice acting jobs. Partially confidence and just availability, but like, she does accents and has just role played on screen as some of her voice acting characters she does. And yeah, I'm so impressed by Grimmy. I think Grimmy is one of the people, she's gotten so much more comfortable at just being herself and enjoying that. Some of my favorite times with her recently is another favorite. Papa Mutt does, and he just had tonight, his Real Shorts night where he watches Real Shorts, which is just garbage, downright possibly written by AI TV. Oh, you cheap garbage bot. Get out of my chat, please. Hey, Moobot, you didn't do anything about it. Uh-huh. Way to go, but aren't you in my chat? What are you doing? What do I not pay you for? You're in there. That was clearly a viewer bot. Jesus Christ, Boobot. Beeping. What are you beeping about? Been drowsy. It's been a long day in game. Anyway, I digress. So, with all of that, his real shorts is they are really bad shows. They are shows that are, as they're downright written by AI. He primarily watches the werewolf ones because he is a dog furry. He's a dog on the internet, as he likes to say. But Grimmy is the Omegaverse expert, the werewolf lore expert, they say. Whether or not she actually would agree with that, still debatable, but she's our Luna on there. And Grimmy she's such a delight with it because Grimmy has just like a wonderful, sweet voice, and then she's like, oh, we gotta watch this Disney AMV about a bunch of the Disney men being gay. With Jim Hawkins and stuff. And I'm like, Grimmy, all of us, like Grimmy. And we watch them and they are amazing, but it's just, God, I love Grimbo. Griminski, Grimelda. I go with Griminski, and I don't think she does officially. I don't think she knows this. What entertains me to say Griminski, so I don't care. Camera. Sucky cameras? I barely remember to save at all. Anyway, but yeah, so I love mimicking Grimmy's on that, doing little voices. It's not even mimicking, it's just stuff I would do anyway. But my all-time Kami Oshi is still Froggy Luck. I adore Froggy Luck. She is such a just talented and funny woman. I mean, part of the funny is her not thinking as she does things. Sure. And then potentially you're worrying about getting yourself in trouble saying something sometimes almost racist or downright nearly kind of racist, but so unintentionally it's not like a thing. Yeah, goddamn. And she's good friends with Papa Mart, which I met or found Papa Mart. I was saying that I'd love to meet him as well. But and she's also always on Real Shorts. She missed last week's because God love her. Good for her. She had saved up enough from her artwork and from streaming to buy a house. Actually, she bought 2 houses. I believe she bought one for her grandparents and one for herself. Well, the one she bought for herself is loaded to death. And I say to death completely intentionally because it's loaded with fucking black mold. Dude, let's talk about the house so cheap. And we're just like, Grimmy. Or not Grimmy, Froggy. Froggy, no. Froggy, please. Fellas, you cannot buy a house full of black mold. She's like, well, it's just the other rooms, not the bedroom I'm in, that are filled to the brim with black mold. Like, I just can't open the doors, and we're just like, that's not, Froggy, that's not the way mold works. They're spores. They're small enough to get under doors. You know, like, they do. That's Froggy. A little concerned about her, but she has not streamed for 2 months. Like, look, I haven't streamed for 3, but like, she's a major streamer. This is like her job. This is like what pays her bills. She's like, I don't think she's even drawn. She said she used her Wacom for that. She hasn't drawn because that's been in a box for 2 months. I don't know how she's doing it. How she's holding up. I'm glad. I was so glad. She first got to be with Papa again on Streamver. He does his baking streams, which are also chaos and always drive her nuts when she's on them, but baking streams are fun, where she did wine night with him, and she's like, and like, evidently, yeah, that was really good for her mentally and all that. But top of that, it's like, oh, but Froggy. Like, I'm sitting here. By the way, I have my first ever VTuber merch. I actually won from Froggy. It is Froggy's mug, which it's not a mug. It's a water bottle, which has a straw normally, but I use it without generally now. Just because like drinking water sounds weird to me sometimes. A metal straw, but it's nice. Like she made this art herself of like, I think they're lotus flowers and a like kitchen knife going through it. Nice loud hydrate for you. No, it was just such a delight to have Froggy on those two streams. I swear to God, like it does me so good to hear Froggy because I find her, I find her absolutely hilarious. She finds so many things hilarious. She laughs so easy and has such an infectious, unusual laugh. And she even says, she just has such a good time. She's so good on the real shorts and so fun there. It's funny, she actually, this stream, it might have been meeting her the first time, but this stream was with Lena Lazar. It was her first time joining the real shorts. And Froggy comes in last onto the stream, because again, she's been dealing with a lot of stuff. And she's like, I'm sorry, I thought I had to pee, but then it turns out I had to poop. And just let you know, if you use Grandpa's Ashes gamer subs, your poop will be green and your pee will be some other color. And Lane is just like, that is the most weird, full of confidence entrance I've ever seen from any human being. And we're just like, well, that's Froggy. And like, I guess Lena maybe has never met Froggy or never has been featured to meet pure unadulterated Froggy. But I love Froggy. As we put in the chat always when we see her, and she does great, is we love the frog, and we love the frog, and we love the frog, and we love the frog. I know her other good friend, who's another one I love, Ariel. I believe Ari's computer's down. I follow Ari on Twitch, of course, but I actually don't watch her that much. But Ari's lovely. She's a very nice person. She is also like the streamers I watch are just. I love a lot of indie videos, which brings me to the other thing I was going to talk about. So indies. The other big thing besides Saba that has happened for indie has been, besides Mataracon first leaving, I think before Gura, but maybe Gura announced first, we had Giga, and then Zentreya left VShojo as well to go indie, which is just big. I mean, basically, yeah, both of them are big enough that they don't need VShojo to succeed anymore, which is great. But it's still a big thing to have indies that are that big. To have indies, people that get that many views constantly and are that well known, to say, hey, I don't want to be corpo, I want to make things myself. It is a beautiful thing, especially to an indie man like myself. Like, I'm not saying I'll never go corpo. If I ever get big and any corpo wants me, like, we'll talk, we'll see what they want. I'm not giving up my IP. I like being myself, but no. VShojo is good about that. I'm not saying I'd go for VShojo even myself ever, but it'd be lovely, if I ever consider it. But again, having more indies is actually just, it's better for all of us. And look, I'm not the biggest Zentreya viewer. I'm a Zentreya stan. Everything I know about Zentreya is how she helps other streamers and other people who cares. And she's good friends with the streamers that have inspired me the most. Froggy is one of her best friends, as is, Ari, as I said. And well, Ari isn't like necessarily an Oshi. She's one of the early ones I saw streaming with Ray. I am a big Ray fan. The flesh tuber who probably streams with the most VTubers, Ray. It used to be Nags, and I think he stole that title from his own good friend Nags, which is hilarious to me. But that's a story for another time. That's me talking about like VTuber lore, which is probably the most boring goddamn thing anyone could watch on that. Nobody wants to hear that. That's on Twitch, I am sure. Like, that's not what you're here for. You watch VTubers. You don't need an indie low tier VTuber telling you about it, right? Well, if you do, I'll tell you about it because I know too much. I'm not up in that like VTuber chaos conspiracy theory. And, what is it? Bad things happen. Drama. I'm not a drama tuber. I don't care for the drama. There's the stuff that could be said about the Cinder situation that, like, I still wouldn't get into that anyway. Though I do support a lot of the ones that are affected by Cinder. I already like them. And know what they went through because of their toxic friend. Like, yeah, I'm like, no, I want to support you women, you ladies, because you've always been inspiring to me in a lot of ways. You're very entertaining, very talented, and like, you also support your friends in spite of what one of them did. You always supported them, and then they screwed you, and that's so, like, part of the reason I also love Froggy and Ari and Zen and Papa and all them is, like, their friend group is just so absolutely strong. Like, and like, they're open to expanding to add other people because they are supportive. They support the industry in general and meeting new people and doing that. But like, in general, they're just such good people. Like, knowing that they'll play together isn't about like, oh yeah, we gotta get big and we gotta do collabs. It's, they want to play games with each other. They want to chat. And I'm not the biggest Yap session guy normally. I'm getting better at watching it. And clearly, right at yapping. Like, look at me. I've been talking almost to myself for 2 hours straight. But, hearing that group when they chat, like all of them, Papa included, is great. I don't personally watch Heavenly Father, but when he collabs, I think he's terrific. Nostro as well. Like, Siren helped a lot with Zentrea's last marathon or subathon. All of that stuff, like, those people that you meet together through that is so great. Like, one of their favorite people and amazing artists is Dustco, and the way they support Dust is so lovely. It's community that I think we need more in these creative communities. Which is, again, why I support those that were... Why I support those that were hurt by Cinder, because so much that good community is about. I'm sorry, chat. Let me just pop out this door and see what it is. Hello? Hello? I got a failed save. Is anyone here? 4 a.m. You know where your children are? I guess not. I don't know what that was. I can save now, but that was disconcerting. But anyway, one of the streamers I am watching the most recently, I didn't think he would be my style, but I've actually grown to really like him. I like the community. Is Krelly. If you do not know Krelly, she recently, after 3 years of streaming, came into fame thanks to a Vivo raid during her current subathon. Vivo987/Neuro/Evil Neuro. So I kind of like Neuro and Evil Neuro a fair bit. They are very entertaining most of the time. I don't watch their solo streams. I know people love hearing them yap and watching their streams. And they are solid singers, and people like their karaoke streams. I don't get it necessarily. And I think they're really cool. It's really cool to have AI. I get sick. It's really cool to have AI that is not stolen content, stolen training, and that actually. Let's see what day I'm on. Excuse me, 12 days past 13. Alright, I'm hearing some stuff, I think. Yeah. Events lately. Sorry. So, but I love what Beetle does with his popularity, where he just finds people to follow, to raid. Like, nobody really knows how. Like, Krelly's like, I don't know how Vito found me, but when I first saw the Krelly video, I love watching Staz, who is basically the official, unofficial clipper of Neuro and Vito, whatever. And the video of their raid is very fun. And I tried watching Krelly the first time. I'm like, I don't know if Krelly's for me. Like, her energy just kind of wasn't right. It felt very similar to Coco, and I like Coco in collabs, but I can't watch Coco solo. Like, it doesn't work for me. I don't like her chat. So if you're a chatter who's watching me for whatever reason, and you are a Coco fan, look, I love you. You're kind. It's nice to have you here. But my streams ain't gonna run like Coco's because I don't like that. It's not for me. But and Krelly is now friends with Coco, which is really fun and funny. Because I'm like, wow. Let's see. You want to see what that is? That's almost done. Now I'm just gonna go on F5. I think that way is that way. I think it's towards C, right? No, is it gone? Already? Oh, wait, so Krelly, funny, like, the second time I watched her, though, it just worked. Just gelled. I was like, oh, I really did this. I mean, honestly, you didn't give me anything else besides that peeping Tom view, so I don't really care. But, you know, I really like Krelly since then. I've watched her almost every day after work. I think she gets a little bit of the Froggy of just not knowing when to shut up to help herself. She will basically say the most like self-incriminating stuff, where she's almost fully admitted many times. She has fully admitted a few times that she is a cock. She's like, but I'm not a cock. I'm like, you just said you like watching your partner with somebody else because you want to see them enjoying themselves or something you say is better, which is very much territory. She's like, no, and then she does it. And yeah, she's speed running like a lot of like what people would say the newer batch of the Vito ladies. Aqua is one of her friends now. Aqua. He is he's a big yak screamer. He is one of her really good friends. Megalodon, who had already known about Mega for quite a while. I never had watched her much, but I liked what I've seen. She got into the Vito sphere in like the same time, and I gotta tell you, also I'm a big Mega fan now. Mega is lovely. Oh shit! Hey, what? Hey, come back here! You heard me? Keep going. What is this? Hello? Oh. Do you need a responder? Hello? Hey. I have 5? Wait, what? I can't. Hey, what are you doing here? Things blinking. Is that car? Or is that my computer? You trying to hit me? What's going on? Do it. Do it. Do it. No? Okay. Hey, you're fine. It's weird. I feel like I've had the car event before, and it wasn't this weird. And grabbing it is certainly causing my thing to blink out. I think Dr. Nose did not intend for people to grab the car. You can stay that way. Aha! I Yeah, so Mega is also now really good friend. I don't know if that's doing anything. And it really is fucking up my camera. Right? My capture and my camera in my game. The audio's back up. So, but no, it's lovely that Aqua's with them. And then another one that I had seen so many in clips and just randomly got pulled in. I think Aqua mentioned them once. And now they're one of my favorite people as well. And one of my favorites to collab with them is Milk, or Queen Cat, if you've seen her. Queen, C-W-E-E-A-M, Cat, as her Twitch handle is. And Milk is just, I actually really dig Milk. Like a really just chill vibe. Let's just talk like this and nice light voice. Just say things. Some of it's out of pocket, don't get me wrong, but it's nice. I'm in the Krelly sphere. I have been making Krelly memes because Krelly is perfectly fine with being memed on and being shit on, particularly in her memes. Not physically, literally in the memes, but like, basically memes that are just completely tearing her new one. I've done a few cuck ones. I've done ones about her being bad at Peak. But she's not. She's good at the first two zones. She's less good at the later zones in Peak. Let's go figure. I'm not great either, but I've only played solo. If you were here earlier, my buddy Instant Mac was like, Zachary, why didn't you accept the Peak invite, the Peak gift that I gave you? Like, oh, I didn't? No, you fucking moron. It got returned. I am out of fuel again. I swear this thing uses more fuel than it used to. Anyway, I'm like, Zach, no, it got returned and I got a refund. Because you didn't use these. Like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah. And like, I'm not spending $8 to buy it for you now. It was $7 or it was $5 when I bought it for you. I do want to play Peak with a bunch of people. Oh, no. Ooh, no. I was like scratching my lip and I think my tracking bugged out. But yeah, no, I'm gonna try to get Zach. I want to get him back into streaming. I don't know if he ever has actually done it, but he said he wants to stream. And I love the idea of doing collabs. I honestly don't play with friends online enough, or like at all. There's a woman that I was interested in dating, and then like, she's like, I don't really know if I want to date. She also definitely was like kind of like done with men, and I'm like, that's chill. I mean, I'm done with men too, but respect. I'm like, you still seem like good people. I just want to chat. We played some Phasmo. That's the only time I've played Phasmo was with her, and then like we chat every once in a while. I need to catch up with her. It's funny. I almost caught up with her. I should have caught up with her when I was in New Jersey, because last time we talked, she was also in New Jersey. But I also didn't want to be that creepy guy who's like, hey, we haven't talked in a while. I'm on a family vacation in the same place you said you were. Do you want to meet up? No, like, will I fully admit that I would be down to, if we met up to, and she was interested to hook up? Sure. We met on a dating app. Like, I was attracted to her mentally and physically, don't get me wrong. I'm going to admit that. I'm chill. But, you know, I am not a liar about thirst. Because, again, it's been a while. Chat, I have not knocked boots in a while. Just with another break. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, well, should I do that? I'm like, no, that just feels so goddamn creepy. Like, so I didn't do it. I kept thinking about it. I was like, no, I'll catch up with her later and be like, oh, I was in New Jersey. And if she says like, oh, well, you should have come out, or you should have like messaged me, we could have grabbed drinks or something. Well, I'll know I messed up then, but again, like, we haven't talked in months. So like, again, it felt just so creepy to be doing that. I'll be back up there in October anyway. The cousin whose fiance I was talking about earlier, they get married in October? Yes, October. I should remember it, and I'm based around the film festival that I adore. And I might not get to go to for more than standby because it's $500. And Chad, I don't have $500 to spare right now with my debt. Nonetheless, taking time off from work because I'm hourly And as I said, I don't make that much because I'm a state employee and I say contractor even. So I don't want to spend $500 as much as I love it to then also be more in debt for taking a week off work. You gotta make sacrifices. And honestly, like, look, I've said to myself, like, if somehow in the next 2 months I get affiliate and I'm making some money, somehow people want to watch me, you know, chat, if you want to watch me, you're welcome. Nice to meet you. His head turned. He was looking up that way. I know he was. I swear you were, William. I mean, like, I'm not betting on that, but I'm, you know, saying like, hey, stranger things have happened in the world of Twitch. If that happens and I can make some money, maybe I can justify the film festival. But otherwise, yeah, I'll do standby lines and barely get to see anything and be a little sad. But I just have, you know, all my friends go there as I work as a film critic in my free time. Not as my day job, it's just my free time. And it doesn't pay, but it's fun. Oh yeah, other streamers that I want to shout out that I have been watching. Ones that are much smaller, but still great. One that I really like, and I actually want to at some point try to collab with them. But I need to get back to being regular, and then hopefully having some viewers, because nobody wants to collab with the person who's like, hey, do you want to collab? Because nobody watches me. And I'm like, no, I don't want to collab with someone just to get viewers. I mean, I want to collab with someone who I think I would get along with, where our personalities could be fun together and our interesting games could be fun together, so we can, you know, potentially our viewers, you know, want to get together. But what do I provide that person if I don't have viewers either? Like, it's just kind of one of those things. I'm like, okay. But their name is Flox, or Flox Nespalier, I believe is the full name. They are really cool. They are also a rigger and an artist. I believe in an artist. They are also pretty good at scripting. They have done some fantastic stuff. They are the one that I would love to maybe get to do my my new background, if I think about it, because they have a great vibe. They kind of have like this vibe. It's very retrofuturism, and it's very cool tech-wise. Some of the best coding things they have done is they have a computer bot assistant that is really wonderfully well rigged. It literally like sits over their shoulder. It is called BugBot, and like you can gamble on. And when you do, like, you know, doing Gamba in chat is an old thing. You can get Gamba to run in general. I could get it to go with StreamerBot, which I use. If I had StreamerBot 1.0, somebody's made a free plugin for Gamba, and we'll get there. Where it's like, you know, it's like doing a slot machine. But the point being, what Flox has done is the Gamba literally runs on BugBot, visually on the screen at the same time as it is running in StreamerBot in the background, I am sure. But it is a really great output of just visuals with that. And BugBot can do so many other things, and they have some fun stuff they did with their model. They did this thing called Chungus War, where like literally you can squish and squash them back and forth to make them a Chungus, as the joke goes. And Flox is chill, really smart woman, really nice. They've been playing. As we've joked, they're playing Portal. Well, they're playing Portal 2. My first stream I got to catch them. They had computer issues around the same time as mine. They were basically, their computer blew up, just pretty much completely. Whereas mine just was not working severely, and we don't know which part. But they did a rebuild around the same time, and they just got back to being live on Twitch. Got a month ago, and I'm just so glad to catch the return stream where they were playing Portal. And they are very much, as I would say about any engineer I've worked with, they are very smart people, but they are not always smart people. Flox was having a lot of trouble with Portal, entertainingly so. Don't get me wrong, but I felt a little bad because I'm like, there's some great reels of them trying to do the portal thing where it's the when you get to the destruction orb, the spheres, and literally there's just so much where like they just go at it wrong, and you just feel your sphincter clench. You're like, Phlox, what the hell are you doing? Who would tell you that's the right idea? How you're so smart, and like at the end of the game, like the last one of those before you get to the where GLaDOS goes after you, fire segment, which whatever. I don't want to say more than that if you haven't played the game, but if you haven't played Portal, it's like a decade plus old. What's wrong with you? Play Portal. Whatever. With those, it was very fun to watch folks do it, but like the last one, she literally got hit by like 3 times because she couldn't think of just moving it where it hits the wall and then goes down into like the nothing. She had a lot where she couldn't think of like the doing one portal, doing another, letting a thing go through, and then closing the portal. And she's playing Portal 2 now. Actually, God, she hasn't streamed in a couple weeks, I think. I need to check on that, but could be wrong. But the last one I remember, I didn't get to watch, and I keep saying I'm going to watch the VOD, and I haven't yet. Because she's playing Portal 2 for the second day, right when you get to the grid part, after GLaDOS becomes a potato. I was like, oh, I want to watch that so bad. It was while I was at the beach house. I was in a beach house with my family, like, reading Phlox's transcript from closed captioning from my phone while they streamed. I'm like, I want to watch this. Phlox, hi. And I was like, I'm done. So yeah, Phlox is great. I highly recommend them. And the other one I recommend is June Vermilion. June Vermilion is smaller side affiliate. Smaller than Phlox, I think, because Phlox is a lot longer. But June has been like 3 months, and it was very cute. Like, I'd wanted to watch June for a while, and then I watched her once or twice, and then at, I forget which con it was. The one that's like a big VTuber con, I think. She, she had somebody bringing her around on an iPad at the same time Zen Trey was, and she met Zen, and it was just, like, she fangirled so hard. June is a massive VTuber fangirl. But she's also a girl failure. Like, I'm sorry, it's a fact. Besides Phlox, but I guess her playing Portal I would call girl failure. I also like boy failure, but I love girl failure VTubers. Papa Mutt's not a boy failure, but I do like Papa Mutt a lot. Anyway. And it's like, June, good for you, but also, whatever. And then, like, when it's getting on the plane ride, I am watching June on my plane ride to go for the beach. And like, I'm trying to listen with paid for Wi-Fi because you can't watch because Wi-Fi in the air sucks a donkey dick still. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but for fuck's sake, Southwest, get your Wi-Fi better. We live in 2025. If you're not going to make anything else in airfare better, make the Wi-Fi at least work. I digress. It was so cool to watch June, and then she goes full girl failure, talking about like Danganronpa, I'm sorry, and then writing fanfics and yaoi, and she's explained the Omegaverse, which I know the Omegaverse because Kribby and Froggy and Papa have explained it to me on their streams a few times, but yeah, June's just failing up a store with it. It was adorable, but it was bad. It was bad. But her chat's fun. I haven't played with any of those guys in her chat. I need to at some point because they are generally very nice, but I also can't really follow what's going on there. Last streamer I want to shout out who I have followed for years, and I've never gotten like super friendly with, just I'm bad about keeping up with those things. Especially was back then, is Lime Grove. If you don't know Lime Grove, I mean, I'm not surprised. She's a much smaller indie streamer. She's not a VTuber. All the others I've talked about are VTubers because I love VTubers and I am one of those guys completely hooked on them. But Lime has streamed for a while. She does basically a lot of games I would like and some I would not. She is a big like Final Fantasy 14, 16, whatever the RPG one is. I'm like Lime, stop, please. I don't want, but you know. She's playing Dune a lot right now, though I think she's on a Dune break, and I have almost bought Dune a few times, but Dune is also $50. And as I said, I am pretty broke. I'm sorry, nose itch. God, I'm gonna like hit my mic. Oh, I should go to bed soon. Anyway, but no, I just want to shout out Lime because Lime is still a charming person. I do want to play with them. They have a server up for Dune. I just again $50 to play with a group that I'm not that close with feels like a lot. I know they wouldn't have a problem with it. They know me in the chat, and I'm occasionally in the Discord. I'm not there enough. I have too many Discords. I am in like 50 Discords, it feels like, and I barely touch half of them. It's becoming a thing. I miss forums. Like, why are there so many roaches? I don't get it. Sorry. I liked forums so much. With my ADHD brain, forums were so much better. And it's kind of why I like YouTube or Facebook comment sections. Which reminds me, I want to check this guy. Message me back. He's a Snyderverse troll. He's an idiot. He's like, y'all just keep whining about the new Superman. It's like, hey, bro, nobody whined about it. You whined about it. You came into this thread that had bro. You don't even work for them, dude. Oh my god. There is a kind of sister site that is the more popular site technically to the site I do reviews with. It's kind of a sister site because when the site that our owner was part of before went down because of mismanagement by his former friend, semi-friend, at least they'll talk in public acquaintance now. You know, basically was the douchebag we kind of all knew he was, and basically got their corporate parent that was paying them at least $40K annually to do movie reviews and other stuff they actually liked. Got them closed down. Well, my buddy opened the site I'm on, and their former boss opened the other one. The other one did better because the boss is much better at marketing himself, but he's also full of shit. Not gonna touch that one much further. Let people deal with it, whatever. But a guy who I kind of know because he's a fanboy of my site and of my buddy who runs the site, especially because he was a fan of the old site. But it's one of those kids where you're like, hey, I'm not trying to stereotype that you're going to be that you would have been a school shooter, but you didn't have the nerve. You feel like you're a school shooter who's going to potentially try to assault a woman because you can't read signals and you feel jilted. Like, I've heard stories about him not being great with like women in our group that he's been attracted to, and then like not knowing to. Actually, there's a few of them like that. We have too many people in our group that are not. I don't think they'll actually do anything, but there are people that are just like, do you not know how to do things? Like, how are you bad at interacting with women? I'm not saying you have to flirt, but like acting like a human. This guy's one of those, and he tagged me and 12 other people, including the owner of the other site, which is another weird one, and my other friend who's on that site, with an 11-year anniversary post for them. Is he working for them? I thought he was working with us. Did he start recording with them, which is weird to begin with? Ah, God. That's kind of, in my opinion, a fame fucker type of thing. Like, I was a fan of my buddy before I joined his site. I've only admit that, but like, I didn't move here for him. A lot of people did. I was like, no, I moved here because one, yes, you sold the movie scene in Austin to me, and yeah, it'd be cool to meet you. And I went to their convention that was here in Austin that they did. How I got to meet him. We had some rocky times where we weren't close or anything, and we got much closer, but it's like, yeah. I put in the work to be a friend for a long time instead of just like when they needed people. and helped out. And I mean, I feel a little chilly these days sometimes. Like the movie stuff that I told you is like I do the videos for my friends' promotion for their videos or for their film series. I make them good videos and they don't post them for social media for publicity at all. I'm like, why am I making these if you don't use them? And then despite them liking the videos and me doing all I can to help promote them, they then like thank this other guy who does their promos, and he's doing an okay job. He's a guy who's always been a shitty editor. And I say that being at least a former friend of this guy. I don't really think he's a guy who just kind of got so burned out on because he just has a lot of issues and a lot of bad self-care. And oh my God, I'm not going to Kilo. I'm not dealing with that right now. I'll let it go slow. But anyway, like it just sucks when you're like, hey man, I put in a lot of work. I'd love to help you with that. And do so much to try to help them and hype them. And you don't, and like that guy gets the thanks. Oh yeah, we gotta thank Mike for that. And don't mention Iggy at all about how he spends his time and it brings his expensive equipment to come film them doing their stuff, doing their show, and then spends his own free time then afterwards editing their videos of that to be a promo that they don't use to give them a chance to be promotional material. Which again, then they're like, why don't people come see us? Like, because you don't promo. You use the promo video that Mike made and no one comes and you thank him for that. I do promo videos for you of what the actual, show is like. And y'all don't use it at all. And then you wonder why people don't come out because they don't know what they're getting into. Yeah. Anyway, that's when I'm whining that much. Maybe it's time. What the fuck? Oh, fuck, man. Bob Newhart died. I mean, I thought Bob Newhart might have already been dead. But he died. That's sad. Bob Newhart is a icon and a legend and delightful. But I think it's time to move on. Chat, I am very... not eepy yet, but I'm not fully awake, and I think it's time to take a break. When I say a break, I mean like it's midnight. It's 12:30-ish, 12:20. Excuse me. I have been trying to stream all week, and I kept putting it off because I'm like, but I want to do longer streams, and I can't do that because X, Y, and Z. About the time and how I'm feeling. And there were days I felt like shit. Don't get me wrong. But I can't do that. But today is a Friday and I still put it off for a while because I was watching Papa Mud and then I got just kind of lazy. I was doing real shorts. But either way, chat, it's now time to call it a night because, well, I'm tired. I'm old and lazy and tired, and I plan to stream more on the weekend. I want to be more consistent. I want to be streaming. I won't say every day. I'm not that good, but at least like 4 times a week would be lovely. Next week is a big week for me at the day job, so we will see, knock on wood, how well that goes. But I know there's like no one here, and I'm gonna look stupid doing it, but I'm still gonna raid somebody who I do like, and I don't watch enough. And they're smaller, but, they're a small enough audience that maybe it's an audience of care. Up there. And my Twitch Nitro just came through. Is it Nitro? Twitch Premium Plus? Twitch Voxels. Twitch Papaya. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. That's why I'm going to bed. Chat like that. Kind of tired. It's dumb. I'm going to say, if you are here, please go view Inksy. I'm not even going to send a raid because there's no one here. We'll do that next time. But for now, I do hope you have a good evening, chat. And I bid you farewell.